this getting at a fundamental shift in risk tolerance of us, whether we are general consumers, we're family, or investors, where we tend to, if things aren't going well, we tend to retreat back to safe havens that don't yield much in terms of interest. Am I suddenly, as a family leader, supposed to shift my appetite for tolerance and move out of those safe savings behaviors and take on some riskier investments?
A recent article in the Wall Street Journal just pointed out that there are people who invest a lot of money who are actually burying their gold in their fields. So I think the answer is yes, to a degree. The risk tolerance has shifted.
Do you have any addresses for those?
I know, I would love to know those. Right? They're actually burying the gold in their dirt.
It does literally happen. I think what's happening, Jane, is a bunch of forces have come together at one time. And I think we have to be aware of that. And just real quick, one of the things I've tried to say for a long time, I don't agree with everything that Bernanke did, but one thing we will never know. Nobody asks what's wrong when it looks like it works, and nobody asks how bad it could really have gotten. Right? I mean, we lived through the period of the fall of '08 with the collapse of Lehman, you know, with a period of time where we broke the buck in the money market accounts, and I mean, it was bad. And so it's really, really hard to say. But Jane, when you get on an airplane, you're gonna get on an airplane with the same crew, the same pilot, the same equipment. You're gonna take off. You're gonna fly at 30,000 feet level for a while, and then you're gonna land. And you use the same equipment, the same crew, the same pilot. But one of the biggest mistakes that investors make is they don't understand the crew does different things at different times, and the pilot certainly does different things at different times. In finance, we go through 3 phases of life. We go through an accumulation phase, a preservation phase, and a distribution phase. And what we have seen happen simultaneously is that a lot of people are reaching that distribution phase. We've all seen the studies, read about the number of people turning 65, the impacts to the social programs that we have. But now people need income. And we live in this world where it's always been about protecting the asset, because people understand that. If I give you $100, you know what $100 is. If I ask you about the income off of it, people really don't recognize that there's some volatility to that. So I wasn't in the business in 1980, but if I would have been, I guarantee you would have given me your retirement. Said, Joe, here's my $1 million nest egg. Make sure you take care of it. Don't lose the money. And I would have gone and put it in CDs at 14%, and you'd had $140,000 a year income. In 1990, I was very much in the business, and you would have said, Big Joe, here's my $1 million. Don't lose it. And your income would have dropped to $55,000, because that was the average CD rate. And then $50,000 in 2000. And today in 2012, I've still got your $1 million, the part that consumers understand. They still got their $1 million, but the income has been decimated. They're down to a $12,000 a year income over a 32-year period of time. And that impact, that's what concerns me so much about QE3, is that game is going to continue. When we see the things that happen in our economy that in my mind are mixed messages, or aren't dealing with the real notion of growth. And for the record, I don't know how to do that. I manage people's nest eggs. You know, one of the things, I manage your retirement, not the economy. I like to talk about the economy, but understanding those two are different, I think, is very, very important. And investors right now have to understand where they are on that plane ride, and if they may be using the same equipment, but they need to be having stuff that's using different processes to be able to land the plane if it's time. And that means different thoughts.